Hello and welcome to another Mod Monday. If you are new to Mod Mondays, I cover some of the best mods in CK3 from the last couple of weeks and highlight them. So if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it looking some cool mods. The first mod that I would like to highlight is the India only mod, which I think is very cool. I think mods like this are something to be experiment with more. The idea is that only you can play as the Indian nations. So every nation in India is what you can play in. And so you get the start dates, and India is isolated from the rest of the world. I think it's really cool to form strategies and role play. I think it's also good for multiplayer because multiplayer is a little slow. You could maybe have a much faster game. And I think it just able to play in specific areas more. I think this would be cool to have something with like Europe, Africa, and Asia of having you can only play as that. So I think this is mod cool, and I can't wait for more mods like this to come out. The next mod is actually a series of mods that I would like to highlight from Luca's mods. These are some really cool mods. The first one is the interaction icon project, and the idea is there's a lot of interactions, and a lot of the icons are either the same or they don't have any icons. So Luca is going ahead and adding a whole bunch of icons for a whole bunch of actions. He has over 100 icons, and I think it's very cool. I think he wants to add something for everything. It's a work in progress, but I think it's very cool to see all of these icons added. Pretty much there's one for every single thing because some things don't have icons, and he kind of edited the ones that were already in the game to make them more his style. So I think it's very interesting and very cool to see. And to go on from this, we can look at another mod he's created, which is the duplicate icon project. And so instead of having the same icon for some things, slash like seduce and romance usually have the same icon, and some other things in the dynasty have the same icons, he has made it so all of the duplicate icons are now different, so you can distinguish them from each other. He's actually here you can see like the different changes he has done with some of the repeating icons. So this is just a cool thing he's doing to make the icons a little bit spiced up. And so these two mods together will really revamp all the icons for all the interactions. So I think those are two mods that you should probably have in your campaign if you are not doing an Iron Man mode. This is a very simple one, and I think it just makes a lot of things look a lot better. And like for the Disinherit and Denounce, it doesn't make sense that they're like the actual prestige kind of looking good, and you give them the red so they're bad. Another mod that Luca has made, Luca's doing some great UI mods that I just love, is the color titles and portraits of borders. And so this just gives portraits more of an icon around them and make them look different. Some other mods of this already exist, but his are quite well, and so it goes with their rank like mayor count and different things throughout the world. The next mod I think is very cool and something that I think should be added to the game, and we might see add to the game later, is the idea of pagan faiths being able to be Christianized. And this is them being allowed to convert to Catholicism. They adopt Catholicism because right now the only way to do that is if you become Catholic yourself. And in this idea, it may is a decision at a certain date that you can convert to Catholicism. So I think this is very cool because historically that is what happened, is there was a big change of Catholic becoming popular in some of the pagan faiths. And so this is like Norse and Slavs. So I think this is a cool idea to spread that religion, just because the game does go to 1453, and by then most places did convert to Catholicism. The next mod that I think is just makes sense is the same house opinion. If you're in the same house as someone, you get a bonus opinion of them. I think it is just a simple 5 opinion for all characters in your house, and this just makes sense to me. If you're in the same house, you should kind of have a positive opinion because you're kind of related to them. So this is just a small little thing that I think should probably just be in the base game, that people in your house get bonus opinion of you. The next mod is a nice mod, which is a Designate Heir mod, and this also is a nice mod because it's not just you get to pick whatever hair you want. You actually have to use prestige to be able to do this. So you have to designate hair through character interaction, and it costs 1,000 prestige, which makes this a lot more balanced. Because if it was just like you can make whoever you want your hair, it would just be so easy. But this, you can only designate lawful heirs. So this is actually very balanced, and I think this is makes a lot of sense. If say your son is better than another son, you can designate him to be your heir instead of say your main son, and it costs 1,000 prestige. I think renown would probably make more sense. I think prestige is still a good factor. I think if it costs some renown, it would be good because it affects your dynasty, but I do think this is a cool addition that is a lot more balanced than some other mods. There's some other mods where you can just become siblings or like designate a heir. This one actually has like a balanced system, so you can't just pick whoever you want to be your heir. So I really like the idea of making a balanced system of it. Also, I know we're late into the video, but just as a reminder, all the links to the mods will be in the description down below. The next mod is the Undone Dates. This modder has discovered that there are some set dates inside of the game of Crusader Kings 3 that the developers have actually worked on, and so this adds a whole bunch of start dates that are not in the base game but have been worked on by some of the developers. It has been talked about how this might be coming over from CK2 and they just converted it over, or they're just future plans to do different start dates. So this just adds a whole bunch of new start dates that you might see later in the game. I also think some of these start dates are very cool because the world's a lot more fractured. You can also see Iberia either a lot more developed, because in my opinion right now, the Catholics in Iberia almost always get crushed, and I think that there needs to be some balancing there. But for here in the start date, there are some where Castile is actually doing pretty good in Iberia, while currently in the game, Castile and all those nations usually just get destroyed by Muslim faiths. The next mod, which is a very fun mod, which I think is cool, is a free faith creation. This allows you just to create whatever faith you want with 0 cost of piety. I think this is great for you experimenting with the faith creation, because right now you have to work up all the piety, and without you going in and just giving yourself a whole bunch of piety, you can't really do that. So this is a way that you can just add this mod, create a faith, and then start with a new faith, a custom faith. So I think this is a nice mod to experiment with custom faith instead of having to build up and do it in an actual game. You can just do this right off the start. The next mod, which I think is an amazing mod, is the better buyable building slot. And so the idea is that you can buy slots for your holdings to make more buildings. I think this just makes more sense, because if you have plenty of money, you should be able to buy more slots in your holding, because as it is now, some places just have a lot less building slots than other. So if you have the money, you could expand the building slots. So I think this makes sense. I think this is something that should be in the game, because if you're just sitting on 1,000 gold and all your buildings are maxed out and you only have 2 buildings, you should be able to buy a building slot to start expanding. I think it makes sense. It kind of makes sense historically that if you have money, you can make a new building. So I think this is a great mod, and of course not Iron Man compatible with most of the mods on this list. The next mod, which I think is very cool, that has not been getting a lot of attention, is the Potions and Alchemy mod and some more things. It's a very basic mod, but as it stands now, you can get a new lifestyle, which is Alchemy, and within this lifestyle of Alchemy, you can make potions. There's currently a couple of potions you can make. You just add a whole bunch of ingredients and it makes potion. It's a very simple mod, very cool mod. I think it could definitely be put into different mods and experiment with other mods. I think this is a good basis that can be built upon, and I think that this is a great place to start out, and I can't wait for future adaptations of this mod. I think Potions and Alchemy is a cool thing to introduce into the Crusader Kings 3 world. The next mod is kind of like Prince of Darkness, but instead without the whole realm of vampires. This is just you are a vampire. So this is the Unending Night mod, and this is where if you start off, you can give yourself the trait of becoming a vampire. So this is just a cool thing that you can add. It allows you to be a vampire, and really it's not vampire, but you know, that's what I'm going to pronounce because I'm vampire, or how it's pronounced. But you're an immortal creature, you're a vampire, and you can rule. You can do this in character creation. There's also a chance that you can get it from the 5 random NPCs that spawn in the world as vampires, but the developer says that chance is so unlikely, you might as well just try to be a vampire in character creation. The last mod on the list is something I'm actually super excited for. I can't wait to see this. This is a mod that's in development and still being updated today, which is going to be very cool. It's not getting a lot of looks at it right now, but I will probably make a video tour on this. And this is Millennium Dawn in Crusader Kings 3. And so this is what modern borders are going to be. So right now there's not a lot of custom cultures or anything like that. Some of the cultures that are already in the game and religions that are in the game are used. But the idea is that it's going to be modern borders for the world, which I think is a very cool idea. As you can see, for example, this is Tibet, which is China, but this is supposed to be using modern borders. So I probably will make a video or two on this, probably a time lapse or two, just because this is a very cool idea. He wants to expand to do a total conversion, making it completely modern. The only problem is that he's working on this mod by himself. I'm wondering if he will add some people to work on it with him, but currently this is a very cool mod, and this is one of the top mods I'm looking at. I think this needs a lot of attention and just a lot of eyes on, because really there's not, but I think it's a very cool mod and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you skip to the end, remember that the description has all the mods down below. And if you like this video, make sure to check out some other videos, some Let's Plays, AI only videos, and time lapses that I do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you later. Bye. Have a good one.